This session is taught by project management expert and author Joseph Phillips. Joseph has been a project manager since the mid-90s, has managed multi-million-dollar projects, and he's the author of several books on project management. He's a project management professional, a Project Plus professional, and a certified technical trainer. Let's get started.
You want to create a strategy to pass the exam on your first attempt. You don't want to be one of those individuals that they have to take the exam 3 times in a year. So I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you a strategy that I've created and that I use in my exam prep courses, and certainly the supplies for the course here on Udemy. So first off, check the exam facts. Go out to PMI.org and just confirm that what I'm saying and what you've read elsewhere and what you think is true is true. It's always great to go to the source and make certain that you understand the process and the facts for the exam. So just go out to PMI.org and they have a section on the PMP, and you can check out all the exam objectives for yourself. Now the exam, you must know the 47 processes. The exam is based on PMBOK 5, so the PMBOK 5th edition, so make certain that you're familiar with that. So not only do you have to know the 47 processes and the 5 process groups, initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing, but you also have to know the knowledge areas. So we have 10 knowledge areas. We have project integration management, you have scope, time, cost, quality, HR, communications, risk, procurement, and the new one in PMBOK 5 is stakeholder management. So you have to know those knowledge areas in addition to the 5 processes. And then the different theories. There's all sorts of theories throughout the exam you have to be familiar with. The exam is a pass or fail test, so you want to work smart. Don't worry about getting a 100. It's gold plating to try to get more than the passing score. I'm kidding a little bit here. Of course, you want to do the best that you can on the exam, but just focus on passing. You don't have to get every question correct. So here's what PMI tells us as far as the PMP exam. Okay, it's chopped up by the 5 process groups, the domain, the whole test. We have initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling, and closing. Now, in initiating, 13% of the whole test is on initiating, 24% of the exam on planning, 30% on executing, 25% on M&C, and 8% on closing. So you just do the math there. Expected questions, 13% of 200 is 26. So you can expect approximately 26 on initiating, 48 questions on planning, 60 on executing, 50 on monitoring and controlling, and on closing you can expect about 16. Now let's put the expected number of questions in proportion to the amount of processes you have to know. In initiating and closing, there are only 2 processes. So look at initiating, 26 questions, but only 2 processes. If you really know everything about those 2 processes, then you'll do great on initiating. Same with closing. So really spend some extra time there. Planning, 24 processes, but 48 questions. That's a lot of work for only 48 questions. I say only, but look what that's in proportion to. It's about 2 questions per process. So really what you have to know in planning are all of the plans. Now executing, there are only 8 processes, but 60 questions. So that's roughly 7 or 8 questions per process there in executing. Monitoring and controlling, you're going to have 50 questions based on 11 processes. So 4 or 5 questions per process. So in other words, you want to work smart, not hard. Let's take a look at what my recommendation here. Planning and monitoring and controlling are really important. I'm not going to deny that. Very important, and you have to know them. But by working smart, by focusing, really a concerted effort here on initiating, executing, and closing, that accounts for 102 questions. Okay? The number of processes, though, are only 12. So in other words, you're going to really focus on those 12 processes in your studying efforts. I mean, really, really know inwards and outwards and upside and downside. Know everything there is to know about initiating, executing, and closing. And that'll give you a bigger bang for your buck. Now, I'm not saying ignore planning and ignore monitoring and controlling, but put more effort on these 12 processes than you would on planning and M&E.